Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am reviewing the Twin Titan mechs from Ninjago Legends DUSKFALL. 1,707 pieces, retails for $139.99. Might be one of the best sets, if not the best set from this summer wave. Let's get into it. So first off, we have just this stand here. It can be used to hold either one of the mechs. So these two little pins here match with some little holes right there. This is on both mechs. Get this in view. And just kind of violate it. Stick it down, and then you get one of your mechs floating, or you can do it with the other mech. There's not much else to this sound. It's very similar to the Marvel ones. Got a few spots to place your figures. So Kai, Oni, and Nia can all just stand around there. And then coming around to the back, there's a few little holes which allow you to put just Kai and Nia's katanas for whenever they're in the mech or you don't want them to be on display. Hidden away right there. Yeah, very simple stand, not much else to it. So first up we have Kai's Titan mech. This build is split into two mechs with two separate instruction booklets. You build Kai's first, then you build Nia's. So we'll start with Kai's, and I think this looks really good. We'll go into closer detail very soon. But overall, looks very good for a Kai mech. Uses more of the dark red, got some light gray, a lot of white as well. So it feels very in line with the other Titan mechs, whilst feeling very different to most Kai mechs, especially recently, which have been all red or dark red. But yeah, let's get into closer detail. Starting down at the feet, these are very similar to a lot of the new Titan mechs, where they've got the two ball joints, and you can move this leg more freely, like this foot, thanks to this extra piston piece, I believe, is what it's called. And yeah, you can move it if you put too much force into it. Apparently it can break off, but there it is. It is a lot of force, and if you just hold it, it should be fine. I haven't fully messed around with it yet. Then moving a little further up, it's you've got a lot of bulky armor here, which feels very right for Kai. It feels similar to the Fire Knight mech and some of those other mechs, where it's a bit more bulky. Not bulky in coal sense, but more armored up and more of a fighter, a brawler. Moving up, you've got the knees with the Grievous canopy piece recolored for a third time this year, which is very cool. And then knees just like normal. Moving up just slightly, you've also got the thigh movement, which have been on the more recent Titan mechs. That's full 360 again. And yeah, there's not much to it. There's some stickers here as well. And then you can see a bit of the skirt waist here, where these can move out. And then you've also got these top flaps here, which will move along with the leg, which obviously can move forward, backward, you know, all your poses for a leg. The only interesting thing is there is no rubber down at the bottom. Normally they have rubber on these just to keep it being, keep some traction. So if you're moving it around like this, it doesn't wobble over as easily. I think because this one's lighter, it doesn't need that, but I don't know. I haven't had it fall over on me yet, apart from bending at the knees here if I put too much force behind it. But yeah, let's move a little further up. So moving up to the cockpit, you've got the main front section, which can be pulled down, and then the head, which can be lifted up. So you can grab your Kai figure and just sit him in there, and then you just close that back up. This also has a sticker, and there's really nothing inside there. It looks really nice. Love the sizing of this. You build it on its side as well, which is really cool. Love some more of the armor up here. There's thrusters at the back, which is pretty cool as well. The rest of this is really just anti-studs, so nothing too interesting. Going back around, moving on to the arms. These are identical on either side. You've got the upper arm, which can go up full 360 degrees, It comes with a little shoulder pad which have a sticker on either side. On the left side this has 01 because it is the first of the two mechs. The other mech has an 02, but I'll show that when I get to it. Then a little further down the arm you've also got more 360-degree movement here. Goes forward, backwards, and then the weapon for Kai's hands specifically is like a face. It looks like an Oni face, and it's got or a dragon face. It's got like fire coming from inside of it, which is on a lot of Kai vehicles from this wave. They're all like powered by fire, which I think is a really cool concept for Kai, and I really like how they're doing that. It's got these like long blades which work as like whiskers, but also like you could stab people with them. And then there's a hand underneath, which, you know, fully posable fingers like most mechs do. And then the only other thing up here is some waist movement as well. So full 360-degree waist movement, as always with these newer mechs. And finally, up at the top, on his like helmet head thing, he's got a big horn coming out, and it looks very, you know, knighty. Got orange coming out from the eyes, and then a huge cannon on the side, which is a really cool build. It's just attached the back here. You can pull it off if you don't want it and just have it on its own, or you can switch it with the other mech, which I'll go over later. And yeah, that's just got a full, it's just on a ball joint, so it can just be moved around freely. And then you can always stick it on and have it face the complete opposite way as he turns back, and boom, big explosion behind him. But yeah, that's Kai's mech, and I think it's the one I prefer out of the two, but we'll go over the Nia mech next. So looking at Nia's mech, I think it looks really nice. It looks a lot thinner, a lot more agile, very similar to like Jay's Titan mech. I will also say this is the first time since Crystallized we're getting a Nia focused vehicle of some kind, even if it's just half of a set, even if it's got less pieces than the other one, so it's not even like the main part of the set. It's just we haven't got anything for Nia in Dragon's Rising. We got one thing which she pilots, however, it's technically Kai's because of the color scheme. So it's just nice to get a Nia thing. So I'm just happy we have this. Let's get into a more close-up view of it though. Like I said before, with her whole mech, it's so much thinner than Kai's. You can see it very well with the legs and especially the arms. But yeah, this feels like it's more of a swimming kind of mech. The feet are very different, a lot more solid, a lot more thin, agile. And then just like Kai's, you got the full range of motion down here. And again, if you go too fast like this, nope, you're not going to do it on Nia's. I guess because it's got less to pull on. I don't know exactly, but it's not doing it as bad on Nia's, which is very nice. Again, more sticker detailing up here. These are a lot thinner shoulder, like knee armor compared to Kai's. And then going up, you've got the knee joint, which doesn't go as far back. I think if we do that, that's like as far as you're getting it, which is kind of unfortunate, but also understandable. And then you've also got the upper thigh movement as well. So, you know, full 360, just like Kai's. Then you got the leg, which again, you can get full 360 if it wants to work with me today, which it doesn't. That's kind of annoying. And then at the waist, ooh, hello. Oh, that's coming loose. Yeah, I have not had that happen to me before. On the mech, there we go. Must have not connected that properly. You've got her like waist cape essentially. You've got these two side pieces which are just connected on ball joints so they can move freely, especially if you're moving the legs up and down. And then I'm just trying to get this in a good pose. Woo! yeah, I kind of hate ball joints, and I will forever hate ball joints, but this is not about ball joints. Then she's got this like canopy piece as the like main cloth, well, essentially cloth that goes over. But yeah, let's move on to the upper part of the mech. So with this upper part of the mech, you've got the main canopy, which similar to Kai's, front bit comes down and then you can lift the head up. And you get your Nia figure just sitting right in there. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky. And then close it up and Nia's sitting there perfectly fine. There's nothing in there, just a little blue piece. Got like a light coming out the front. It looks nice. Very similar head shaping as well. You've got a very similar like upper arm here, which again full motion, and then full motion on the rest of the arm, which is a lot thinner than Kai's. Has a slot to hold a weapon, so you can switch that out for any of the other Ninjago mech weapons because they all use this joint. And yeah, there's not much to the arms. We'll go over the weapon in a second. It just comes off very simple, similar to the Cole one and I think the Lloyd one from earlier this year. And then coming up to the shoulders, you've got the shoulder pads with the O2 on the other side. And then at the back, you've got these giant jets. This is essentially a jetpack. You can have them down, you can have them up, you can spin them around and have them down. Have them pretty much any way you like, and similar to Kai's gun, they just connect with an axle so you can take them off, flip them around. They have some sticker detailing over here, which are a pain to put on. So good luck if you are doing that. But yeah, these look really nice. Like the spinner crowns as like the engine intakes. Yeah. Then moving on to her weapon, it is a very, very long spear. It's like, it's taller than the mech. Starting from the bottom, you've got like a little spike, which can just be put on the ground. You've got like where the main handle is, and then you've got the giant blade at the top with a little lantern coming off it, which is kind of funny. Reminds me of the Kai Fire Knight mech, which had like a little flame at the bottom, which is just kind of random, but I really like when they just have like a little accessory on them and you can swing that around and act like it hits people, even though it probably doesn't. But yeah, that's basically it for the Nia mech. There's one more thing to show you before we go into the overview of well, go into the figures actually. So as I showed with both the gun and the jetpack, they can just come off, but because they're the exact same connection, you can give Kai the jetpack or Nia the gun. However, because a lot of these joints are pretty similar, or they're all exactly the same, you can switch arms, you can switch waists, you can switch legs, you can switch just the bottom part of the leg. You can switch weapons, you can switch basically anything, because they are basically the exact same connection points. There's a few differences, like you can't switch out the entire leg or you can't switch out the entire arm because how they connect are slightly different for each of them. But still, it's a really cool concept that you've got two mechs which are very compatible. It's similar to how like the Lloyd and Cold Titan mechs can switch out like their little back attachments, but this is a lot more like freeing with it. You can also switch the torso, like where the waist joint is, with the Lloyd one, because it uses the exact same waist joint, which I think would be really funny, and I might make a short on that. No guarantee, but it would just be kind of funny, and I kind of want to do that now. But yeah, let's move on to the figures. So our first figure is Mech Suit Nia. This is an exclusive figure to the set. It's a very cool mech suit. It uses her light blue and is it medium azure, and her gunmetal gray, which works really well for Nia's color scheme. She's just got her regular Dragon's Rising face on there. However, there's a new cool thing. We have a new hip attachment here, where if I grab one of the katanas out, you can just grab it and sheath it in the side. So it just sits there. You can have your figures like hold it like that. This is going to work really well for Zoro. Even if it only holds one katana, it would just help so he doesn't have to hold all three. But yeah, I really like this new edition. It comes in almost every set this wave. I think it's just some of the cheaper Dragons Rising wave ones, and then the X1 are the only ones that don't come with it. And then in every set, there's at least one extra. So if you want, you can give one to all your ninja, use it for a lot of customs, all of that. Kai also comes with one in this set. Obviously, I'll show you that when I can. However, just before we finish with this Nia, you can take off her head, which is kind of crazy to do, and put on this other head. And now we have one of our new characters, Mira. She is, well, we have no idea what she is. She could be the elemental master of water. She could be the elemental master of lightning. She just uses blue. That's all we know. We have no idea what this new legend story is about. All we know is it features Mira. It will also feature Jin, who we'll cover soon, and then 2 more characters in some of the other sets. And that's what all the legend sets are based on, which some people are mad about. I think some people just need to wait for the actual legend series to come out this time, because they're kind of saying like, why are we getting this even though it's based on something that we haven't seen yet? So don't know why people are mad about that, but that's not what this is about. I do think Mira looks very nice. She's got a new head, angry, happy, very similar. She's blonde as well. She's got a dual molded hood with the hair coming out, which I think it might be one of the best Ninjago hoods they've made for a single character. It's like, she's only coming in these 3 sets. She's not coming in any other sets, so it's crazy to put that much effort into her. But maybe if these do well, they're gonna continue DUSKFALL. DUSKFALL might be the Legends storyline. They just wanted to introduce it early with Monstrosity. But yeah, let's move on to the other figures. Our next figure is Mechs Kai. This is a very similar figure to Nia in terms of it's basically entirely gunmetal gray with a bit of red. It looks a bit weirder on Kai, just because we don't really see these 2 colors mixed together, but it makes sense. Also, I forgot to mention they use their stormsuit hoods, which is pretty cool. It works nice with Kai and his mech because you use the dark red with the dark red mech. And then similar to Nia, sheath as well, so you can just chuck a sword right in. And then again, similar to Nia, you can take off Kai's head if it wants to come off, and you can put on this new head. And this is Jin. Jin is the fire master. I think that's pretty much confirmed. Could be a descendant, could be an ancestor. Comes with this new dual molded hood as well with horns on the top. This feels very Daredevil-esque. If we got this in full red, it would work so well for a Matt Murdock. That's just a Marvel part of me. And then you've also got Jin's face. He's got an angry one and a happy one. He's got like a scar on his cheek as well, which is pretty cool. Other than that, like, it's a pretty generic face for Lego, but I really like him. And I believe him and Mira are twins, hence the name the Twin Titan Mechs. However, that could also be wrong. They do appear to be the main characters of this new show. Very excited to see where they go. But yeah, not much else to say about Jin and Kai. Just a very cool figure overall, and very different for Ninjago. And then our final figure is the Oni Warrior. This guy comes in every set this wave. Just slight variations, just different armor, one without armor and without leg printing. He's kind of the worst of them. It's also in the cheapest set, so it makes sense. It comes with this little like sword thing. Looks pretty cool. Not much to say about it. Love the printing on the legs as well, and the torso print, which goes into the back printing with like swirls, and like I love this purple on the figure. Then we get the like Kalmar armor in gunmetal gray, and this new like Oni head piece, which is literally just something that you chuck on the top. So not at all a molded head thing, but looks very cool. And you can also see the Oni's face inside there, which is hidden a bit more. Oh, I have no idea where his head went. Yeah, I like the Oni. Sorry, you have to look at his body without a head, but when I come back, he will have one. But yeah, he also comes with this like ponytail piece, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And then you also get a poster in each of the legend sets. This is the one for the Titan mechs, and it is really cool. Love how they're like jumping off a waterfall and you can see, you know, just the slight differences between the mechs. You also can't see who's piloting them, so like if you want this to just be your regular Ninjago one, it can be. If you want this to be more related to Dustfall, then it is. But yeah, I really love this poster, and yeah, there's 2 more. Hopefully I don't forget until after I've started editing the video to do this part. But yeah. And that was my review of the Twin Titan mechs, and like I said, Oni's fine right now. I really like this set, genuinely. I really love this set. One of my personal gripes with mechs is just some of the times the ball joints are a little bit finicky, and that is still kind of a thing here. But hey, at least one of them gets to be posed up in the air if you choose so you don't have to deal with any of that, which is really nice. I really love this set though. For 140, 1700 pieces, yeah, I mean, that's a really good deal, especially compared to some other themes where this size of a set would be 200, 250 sometimes. Hell, look at Star Wars. You pay $20 more and you get, what, 900 less pieces sometimes? Yeah. Don't have much else to say about this set though. It is a really good set. If you're going to pick up one legend set, I mean, I'd personally say this one, but I'd say probably the like Battle of the Dragon's Blade, just because it's a little bit cheaper, it comes with more of the legend stuff. However, for the main collectors, this comes with 2 exclusive figures, as well as it completes the Titan mech line. So I will be doing a little video showing off all the Titan mechs. I'll have to try and get my Jay and Zane ones out of storage, which is going to be a bit of a struggle. However, if I don't get those out, then I'm just going to go over the more modern Titan mechs, as these last 4 have been pretty much perfected. I mean, there's not much else you can add to them without them being too much or not like Lego at all. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.